Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's Raw breakdown video. We got so much to talk about. We had 3 championship matches and obviously a big Battle Royal main event. I did find the Vision this week to be very frustrating and we spoke about that in the watch along. I'm not going to bang on about it, but I just thought that it was a big shocking moment last week where Bron had enough. You know, he wanted to take charge. I even saw a video where he said there can only be one and I am the one. So I kind of went into this week wondering how are we going to follow up that big dramatic moment last week? And the answer is, I mean, very underwhelmingly, because he handed the title back to Adam Pearce after being petty about it. Then they were going to be involved in the Battle Royal. They got taken out of the Battle Royal and they did nothing about it. I mean, Bron did say that they should go and, like, you know, trash the place, make a statement, but Heyman came in and said, no, look, trust me. And so they ended up not doing anything. So I don't know where that's going to lead, but I thought as a follow-up to last week, this was very underwhelming. And it did make me wonder if they're now just trying to make the Vision, or this version of the Vision, a little bit more of just part of Raw rather than the main focus of Raw. Because all of a sudden we find ourselves now where the title match is going to be CM Punk against Jey Uso. That's going to be the title match at Saturday night's main event. And, you know, we've got other focuses like the whole Jimmy J situation. Obviously, that's very interesting. I wonder if they're just, now that Seth's out the picture, going to dial down on the Vision a little bit. I thought the follow-up to last week's attack was very, very underwhelming. So anyway, let's go and have a walk through the show set, shall we? Because there's lots to talk about. So we started with Wade and Joe and Lilian. That was our commentary team. And of course, she was ring announcer. Still don't know why, to be honest. We didn't have Alicia Taylor around. But hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully it was just like a booked week off. Show started with Adam Pearce. Vision came out. Adam Pearce confirms that Seth Rollins has undergone surgery and that the World Heavyweight Championship is now vacant. Then we had a bit of pettiness from Bron Breakker. I understand that he needs to be problematic. I understand that he is a heel, but I just thought this looked petty. And honestly, considering they had no big plan, right? They didn't arrive at Raw with like a plan or a strategy or anything like that. This just felt very petty to me. We did get Paul Heyman coming out with some nice lines. But, I mean, again, there wasn't really much there. It was basically Heyman just explaining, why are we the bad guys? There was a very interesting line where he's like, listen, we've all seen WWE Unreal, which is really weird because that's a show kind of about behind the scenes and about how this is all scripted. So, like, Heyman referencing that was a bit weird. I mean, he's kind of saying, like, I know this is scripted, but why are we being made out to be the bad guys? Like, you know, we don't need Seth. Like, Seth was just, you know, dead weight to us. And so this is the future. These guys are going to be the future. And so it was kind of a promo along those lines. It was okay. I just kind of found, like, this whole thing to be a little bit, I don't know, off. Somewhat felt off with this intro. And actually, we might have a reason why, because during this intro, Wrestlevotes said that a source backstage in Sacramento said that there was a lot of late changes to the opening segment, where Adam Pearce stripped Seth Rollins of the World Heavyweight Championship. The original plans had things playing out differently than what we ultimately saw on screen. So if this did feel a little bit strange, a little bit off, I think it's because there was a lot of late changes to that open, right? Backstage, there was a little moment between Roxanne and Dominik. And actually, Raquel had to step in and go, you know, whatever this is, stop it. Which I thought was interesting. Picture of Liv in the background. Obviously, Judgment Day, not happy with Dom. Dom kind of got them in this situation. And so they were going to have to defend their tag titles, which they were not thrilled about, right? That would be our first match, and they would lose those titles. One of the big talking points from the show, banging opening match that you lot really enjoyed. The end result was that AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, are now the new tag team champs. So really good match as well. You lot scored it great, 76. You really enjoyed that match. Here they are backstage. Obviously, the picture with Triple H. He's not pointing, which I'm quite surprised at. But there we go. There they are backstage. Kofi reacted to it. He said the tag team championships are in the hands of two random people who don't even have a tag team name. Lord have mercy. So Kofi was not thrilled. Someone else that was not thrilled was Jimmy, and the way that Jey had spoken to him last week, right? I mean, Jimmy needed some help last week. Jey did eventually come down, but he was kind of going off on Jimmy. Not happy about the fact he had to come to his rescue. And Jimmy was like, what, am I supposed to acknowledge you now, Oos? And actually, Jimmy here was saying, you know, when we get in that battle royal, it's every man for themselves. You know, I'm going to do what's right for me. And made it very clear that if that meant eliminating Jey, then so be it. So Jimmy at this point was very aware that the Battle Royal was every man for themselves. And, you know, obviously we would see in that Battle Royal he would help Jey a few times. But ultimately, Jey kind of betrayed Jimmy by eliminating him. And that's obviously a massive story coming out of this week's Raw. This was great. So, Jen, thank you. There was this fan in the crowd that had Paige Come Home on a shirt. So you know how that Paige Come Home sign got confiscated? Well, this guy had it on a shirt, which was very, very clever. Very good. Right, then we had our next match. This was Dominik against Rusev, and it was for the Intercontinental Championship. So during this match, we actually had Dominik grabbing the belts. He even grabbed the ring bell hammer again. Penta, though, arrived, and basically that meant that Dominik got back into the ring. He does use the hammer, or at least try to, but Rusev manages to prevent it. He grabs it whilst he's got that hammer, and whilst we're faffing around with that low blow. So eventually the ref gets the hammer, hands it back, Rusev distracted, low blow by Dominik, and that means that Dominik retained. After the match, Penta would get in the ring and take out Rusev. So Dominik, Rusev, Penta all circling around each other. Very much feels like a triple threat is on the way. Then we would have Kofi and Grayson. They would be speaking during the commercial break. Kofi shares a message from the absent Xavier Woods to the Sacramento crowd. Number one, your children are ugly. And number two, the tag team division is nothing without us on top. And Kofi was saying, not only should we be on top of the tag division, saving that because it needs saving, but tonight we've got an opportunity to save the whole industry by winning that battle royal. Okay, next up, look at Becky, all in black, looking glum and moody. Obviously still down after what happened to her husband last week. Probably still down on a few weeks ago when Maxxine Dupri beat her. What I found confusing was that Maxxine won because of a fast count. If you go back and look, the referee's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and she counts quick for the end of it, right, Jess? We never followed that up. And Jess was the ref in this match as well. So I did wonder if Ref Jess was going to screw Becky in this match. I didn't see any examples of it, but I don't know why she counted quick a few weeks ago. But she did. Maxxine got the count-out victory. That meant she got this opportunity. Match was okay. You lot said it was good, 89%. Basically, I mean, I just find this match personally a bit confusing because Maxxine has obviously improved, but we haven't given her lots of matches where she can show that she's improved. We've just kind of put her in there with Becky, and now she's doing really well against Becky, and Becky is having to cheat to get a win over Maxxine Dupri. It just seems really weird. It's like we haven't kind of built up Maxxine, so it just doesn't feel very realistic that Becky should be struggling as much as what she is. She ends up using the belt anyway, and so it's a DQ win for Maxxine. I'm sure she's going to get another opportunity down the road, but this whole story just seems really weird to me. I think we're just trying to build up Maxxine, to be honest. Okay, then we had the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka and Kairi send out a message to the entire women's tag division. The Kabuki Warriors are back. No slap this week for Kairi, so this week was a good week. Adam Pearce is backstage, all smiles. He lets Paul Heyman know that Bron and Bronson have been removed from the graphic. And yeah, that was it. They never made their presence felt in the Battle Royal. We see them backstage when they find out the news. But, you know, that was it. So, but we did get a good moment between Becky and Heyman. This was a real highlight of the show for me. So, Bron Breakker Bronson Reed are out of the Battle Royal. Heyman says there is still a spot for Becky. He says, look, you can have a hot husband at home and an adorable oracle at work. Becky indicates she is not a fan of the penguin prick. She said, when Seth comes back, he is going to go after everyone you love, all those nepo babies that you're working with. He's going to take them all out. And don't worry, he won't come after you because you're not worth it. He knew that you would turn on him eventually. We're just surprised it took you this long. So it really got me thinking about what is Seth going to be like when he comes back. Is he going to be a babyface? Is he still going to do the visionary thing? Is it going to be a case now that he's going to be looking for vengeance? You know, can we see another transformation? We've had Architect, Shield, Monday Night Rollins, Messiah, Visionary. I mean, I don't know about you. It feels like it's time for a new version of Seth Rollins. I really want him now to transition into whatever he's going to be for the next 3-4 years. And actually, I really hope that this is going to be the run that he gets remembered for. I am looking for a very vengeful, no nonsense, no silly clothes. Like, I'm looking for that version of Seth when he returns. And I just got the impression that Becky was kind of planting the seeds for that here. Then we moved on. We had Stephanie. She was able to get a victory over Roxanne. Raquel would get involved, though, afterwards. This would bring down Nikki Bella. And, I mean, Nikki Bella was wearing a top, but there was a lot of movement, shall we say, right? And so she came running down. And then we had a black screen as she was making the save. So here, Matt said, I think Nikki Bella might have had a wardrobe malfunction. The screen cut out while she was standing in the ring. And then the cameras started shooting the ringside area, which is true. Whenever there is a moment like that, it is normally because of some sort of wardrobe malfunction. Now, I got sent this. So this is Mayra, right, who has got this footage. I can't remember who sent this over. I don't actually have it around. But this is what went down. So let's take the sound off. You can see, I think, that Nikki is over here. I don't think at this point we've had the black screen. I sort of feel like the black screen came when they both stood up and they were here. It was around this moment. So dropkick, it might have been now that we got the black screen. So, I mean, we can't see anything. There is a referee that kind of comes round here, goes running round. I don't know if he's trying to communicate something. I was joking, though. Perhaps he heard in his headset that there's been a wardrobe malfunction and he just didn't want to miss it, right? But this is what went down during that black screen. So you can't see anything, but normally it's a wardrobe malfunction when it's something like that. Right, Bayley said she's got a birthday gift for Lyra. She's going to give it to her next week. That should be fun. No idea what that's going to be. I wonder if it'd be like wacky inflatable people or something like this. Don't know. Right, Paul Heyman lists off his resume to convince Bron to listen to him. So Bron's like, what's the plan? What's the plan? And I was like, what's the plan? And basically Heyman said, look, in 2002, there was a rookie called Brock Lesnar, who just 5 months later was beating The Rock to become the youngest champion. In 2012, there was the best in the world who was close to getting let go. But, you know, like he went on to have a 400-day title run, you know. Then there was a big dog. And basically he was saying, trust me, yeah, my resume speaks for itself. And so I think that's where we've ended up with Bron and Bronson trusting Heyman, trusting that he's going to lead them to the promised land, which, you know, he can, and I'm sure he will, but I'm just disappointed there was no plan in place for this week. There's no point rocking up to Raw and asking what's the plan. You've had a whole week to think of the plan. That's what I found frustrating. Then we've got the graphic. So this is everyone that was going to be in that Battle Royal. So for those that haven't seen the show, this is who was going to be competing. During the commercial break, we had El Grande, we had Rayo and Bravo. I think Rayo is red, R for red, Bravo, B for blue. So I think that's Rayo, that's Bravo. In nice looking suits. So, but they were speaking in Spanish, so I had no idea what the flip they were saying, right? Then here we had the side plates removed. So Slamex said Seth Rollins' side plates have been removed. I mean, look, there's still some people out there, including CM Punk, who was like, I just can't trust that this injury is legit. I got fooled before. And it's like, yeah, but how does this make any sense? How does it make any sense that Seth Rollins has now had his title actually vacated? So this injury, I think, is legit. I think Punk might have been saying that just to keep the doubt around, but there's no doubt. I've got no doubt. Now that belt has been vacated, doesn't make any sense whatsoever for this injury to be storyline. Okay, Punk, jump in on commentary for the Battle Royal. Okay, Dominik Mysterio eliminated Penta and Rusev, so obviously that seems like we're heading towards the triple threat. So they got eliminated by Dom. CM Punk claims that Dominik Mysterio doesn't wash his wrestling gear. He said, I hope Dominik doesn't win. Do you know why they call him Dirty Dom? Because he doesn't wash his ring gear. AJ Styles eliminates Dirty Dom, but the refs didn't see it. Which, I was kind of surprised at. I would have thought for a Battle Royal, they would have had like a ref round there, or, it's nothing for Triple H to say, no, he did get eliminated. But they went with him continuing, right? Then this was the big moment, wasn't it? This is a massive talking point. So here, look, Jey comes over. It's not much of a push. It's just enough so that they both get eliminated. And that is going to cause big problems because Jimmy saved Jey a couple of times. Jey did not save Jimmy. He eliminated Jimmy. And what I thought was more shocking is, listen, it's every man for themselves. But Jey celebrating when he could see his brother was upset. I was really surprised he did that. If I'd have done that to my brother, I would have gone over to him straight after and gone, listen, it's all love. It's every man for themselves. I understand you being upset with me, but I need you to know this was nothing personal. I certainly wouldn't be in the ring yeeting away with the crowds. That I thought was interesting. So Jey would go on to win. And there you go, Saturday night's main event. But you can see Jimmy livid in the background. CM Punk, Jey, Saturday night's main event. Sheamus said Sheamus's Never Effing Retiring tour started on Monday the 20th of October. Bangers never quit. So that was Sheamus after he was eliminated, obviously, in that Battle Royal. I just like this from Patrick the Heel. John Cena asking for a title shot for the vacant World Heavyweight title for one of those final matches would have been far cooler. And I just said, imagine if he hadn't have got 17 yet. Like, we gave him 17 at WrestleMania, but imagine if he hadn't got it yet. And now, like, because of this, the Seth injury, once again, he's got a chance. I think that would have been so good. Would have been so good with just 4 matches to go. And certainly if, like, word came out, he's not facing for the title in those final 4 matches, people would be like, oh my God, are they really going to have him kind of retire without winning 17? Are they really going to do that? And people, I think, would be really desperate right now for Cena to get 17. And with this Seth injury, which I know you couldn't have foreseen happening, but just if we were in that situation, man, you could have had such a special story right now. A lot of people online seem to be really down on Jey being that person. The IWC doesn't have much love for Jey. The kids really like Jey, but the IWC doesn't have much love for Jey. So I'm not massively surprised by that, to be honest. But yeah. This is where we are. This is obviously a very interesting situation. I think CM Punk gets it. I think he gets it. But shout out to Jordan. It is a theory that's been mentioned before. But is Jimmy now going to be so mad at Jey that he's going to end up joining the Vision? Could it be that he finds his way to the Vision, where he wouldn't be the leader of that group, but I could certainly see him standing shoulder to shoulder with Bron and Bronson. I mean, Jimmy is untapped potential, isn't he? I mean, we've really built up Jey. We haven't really done anything with Jimmy. Maybe we go into a period now where he joins the Vision, and that is going to be his kind of coming out party, if you will. That is going to be where he finds his own voice. And that's where Jimmy can kind of stand sort of on his own 2 feet alongside Bron and Bronson, and not just in the shadow of Jey or Roman. That could be very, very interesting. So the Vision are obviously still involved. Jimmy's situation is very interesting. And obviously here, this is going to divide the fan base. I would imagine a lot of the kids will go with Jey. IWC, I think, will go with CM Punk. And yeah, all in all, plenty of talking points. But I don't know. I don't know if everyone got everything they were looking for, you know. There was a few people that left our watch along that seemed a bit down on this week's show, but I think it gave us enough. It gave us enough. So there we go. That was Raw. Plenty to think about and to talk about. Appreciate people joining this video, and feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.